Hello all, welcome to our official YouTube channel of Hasmukh Goswami College of Engineering. I Professor Srinath Kharli from Civil Engineering Department. Today we are going to cover the subject pavement design and highway construction, and the topic will be the first module, which is pavement materials and characterizations. So these are the contents of the PPT presentation today's. First one is layers of road pavement, second base layer, third granular subbase, fourth subgrade, fifth WBM, which is water bound macadam, WMM, which is wet mix macadam. So first we are going with the layers of road pavement. So first of all, what is the pavement and what is mean by pavements? The pavements can be classified based on the structural performance into two. First is flexible pavements and second is rigid pavement. So there is a very vast difference between flexible and rigid pavements. The flexible pavements, in flexible pavements, wheel loads which are transferred from grain to grain contact of the aggregates, which I will be describing you in the next figure, through the granular structure. The flexible pavement having less flexural strength acts like a flexible sheet, hence it is called an flexible pavement. Whatever the wheel loads are there of four-wheeler, two-wheeler, bus, truck, etc., the wheel load, the main aim of the pavement is to transfer the wheel load to the subgrade and to the soil. But here in flexible pavement, the wheel load transferred from grain to grain, like from layer to layer, and again from layer to layer, the bottom layer will be transferred, the load transfers the load into the soil, hence it is called a flexible pavement. On contrary, the rigid pavement wheels are transferred grade soil with the help of with flexural strength of the pavement, and it acts like a rigid. It actually transfers the flexural strength of the load to the directly to the soil. So layers of flexible pavement, how many layers are there, and we will be discussing the concept of layered system, etc. So the wheel load acting on the pavement will be distributed to the wider area, hence it will not fail. The stress decreases with the depth. How much depth there will be, the stress will be decreases. Taking advantage of these things, flexible pavement normally has many layers, right? And it is hence it is called an concept of layered system. First one type is for the flexible pavement is conventional layered flexible pavement. Second is full depth asphalt pavement. Third one is contained rock asphalt mat. So this is the tag coat, seal coat and prime coat. Here you can see at the bottom prime coat, and second layer is a tag coat, and first layer is a seal coat, right? And it has these many layers flexible pavement. First one in the surface coats, in which surface is layered, and after that the seal coat is applied, and below that the tag coat is applied below the seal coat. And the third one can be the binder coats. Below the binder coats there will be the prime coat. After the prime coat there will be the binder coats of around 50 to 100 mm thickness. Then after comes three major layers. First one is a wearing coats, in which surface and binder includes. Second one is base coats. Third one is subbase coats, and last one is compacted subgrade coats. So base coats generally ranges, the thickness ranges from 100 to 300 mm. Subbase coats generally ranges from 100 to again 300 mm, and subbase ranges from 100 to 300 mm, and subgrade ranges from 150 to 300 mm thickness of the flexible pavement. So in after the subgrade there is a natural soil, or you can say natural subgrade. So this is a typical cross section of the flexible pavement. Now layers, how many types of layers pavement of rigid are there? So we have four types of rigid layered pavement. First one is joint plain concrete pavement. Second is joint reinforced concrete pavement, which is called JRCP. third one is continuous reinforced concrete pavement, and fourth one is pre-stressed concrete pavement. So these are the layers. We will be discussing this fourth type of layer of rigid pavement later on. So concept layers of rigid pavement. Here we can see the cross section of the rigid pavement. First one is a PCCs, which the thickness ranges from 150 to 300 mm. Second one is base or sub-base course directly. There will be the two layers in the rigid pavement, and it is called a rigid pavement. Sub-base course will be 100 to 300 mm. So there will be two layers. You can call as a base or sub-base or subgrade course in a rigid pavement. So this is a typical cross section, and this is elastic plate resting on a viscous foundation. When we are having a viscous foundation, the contact pressure will be like this. It will be acting as an elastic medium, and this actually transfer the load into the soil, and due to the transfer of the load into the pavement remains constant, and the pavement would not be affected due to the sufficient wheel load. Now this is a load distribution of thick structure and thin structure. Thin structure you can say as an example of flexible pavement, and thin structure you can say as in rigid pavement, for example. So we are going for the thick structure. First of all, when the wheel is moving, this wheel is moving onto the pavement, this actually load transfers, the wheel transfers the load of its vehicle or of its tonnage vehicle to the base, and base transfer load to the sub base, and sub base will transfer load to the subgrade soil. Hence subgrade will be the load of the subgrade soil, subgrade layer will be transferred to the main soil, right? Now coming back to this thin structure, which we can take example of this rigid pavement. First of all, the wheel load is directly having a contact with the pavement, which is called an RCC, and then again they are having a base, then directly they are having a sub-base or subgrade, both. Then there are actually, we can say as a 2 layers or 3 layer, both we can work out with the rigid pavements. The wheel will be directly having contact with the pavement, RCC pavement, and directly after this RCC pavement directly transfers the load into the subgrade soil. Hence the load division is this type of in both the rigid and flexible pavements. So what is base layer? So base course we are going to discuss in further some structured layers of the flexible pavement, and what are the layers first of all introduced, right? First one is a base course. Base course in pavements is a layer of material with an asphalt roadway or a racetrack or a riding arena or sporting field. If there is a sub-base course, the base course is constructed directly above this layer, otherwise it is built directly on the top of the subgrade. So this example of this photo actually depicts the base sub-base layer. So this is, they are actually going to construct the base layer. This also is an example of a base layer which is they are going to construct, which is uppermost wearing course of the road, uppermost part. Then comes a granular subbase. Granular subbase, which consists of a uniform mixture of granular materials. I will show you what are the granular materials. For example, it is in gravel. So it's an uniform mixture of granular materials placed on the subgrade, uniformly moistened, shaped and compacted, all in accordance with the contract documents. In highway engineering, subbase is the layer of aggregate material laid on the subgrade on which the base course layer is located. It may be omitted when there is only foot traffic of the pavement. The thickness can ranges up to 75 to 100 mm for garden paths, and driveway, previously discussed 100 to 150 mm, and public footpaths will be more, 150 to 225 mm in thickness for different types of vehicles. We can see the example of granular subbase. This is a gravel they are actually going to layer down and equal the road from the granular subbase. You can see the next example also. They are going to compact the granular subbase. Next, we are going for the subgrade. In transportation engineering, subgrade is a native material underneath a constructed road. So it's an, you can say this subgrade provides a strength, around 70% strength to the road construction, and subgrade is more important than the subbase and base layer. First of all, if subgrade fails, then the above two layers fails immediately. So therefore subgrade layer formation and construction is very important. And to understand this subgrade layer, we will see one example. It is also called as an formation layer. The term is referred to as an imported material that has been used to build an embankment. Preparation of the subgrade for construction usually involves digging. Of course, in ancient times there were Roman roads, and in Roman roads they were actually constructing some big boulders and rocks by digging some foot pits also, and that were only the subgrade road available at that time. After the subgrade level, we came into the new generation construction. It's called in subbase and base layer. So in order to remove the vegetation, topsoil and unwanted material, we put the upper layer of the pavement, which is called a subgrade layer. There is a base to base bottom layer of the pavement, which is called a subgrade layer. This process is also known as subgrade formation or reduction to level. Here you can see this image. First of all, here this is a pathway, or you can say as a carriageway, and in underneath that we have a ballast shoulder. Underneath that we have a subbase layer. These are the subbase layers, and this is also known as rails. And again that layer, subbase layer, we have a track foundation, which is a subgrade layer. Again underneath the subgrade layer we have a natural ground, subsoil, which is a natural ground, and above this subgrade, subbase, and we have a ballast over here. And the gravel which is constructed or which is used during the construction of the rails and sleeper is called a ballast. Now comes the WBM. WBM is a full form is waterbound macadam, and it is suggested by John Macadam, who was a Scottish engineer. The road whose wearing codes consist of clean crushed aggregates mechanically interlocked by rolling and bound together with filler material, waterbound macadam road laid on a well compacted base course is called a WBM road or waterbound macadam road. So hence this layer, it is a layer of broken stone aggregates bound together by stone dust or screening material, and water applied during construction and compacted by heavy smooth wheel roller, and it is also blend with the water, the whatever the layer is. So hence it is called a waterbound macadam. There are three types of materials which are used in the construction of WBM: coarse aggregate, second screenings, filler material, third one is a binding material. You can see this example here on the right side, which is a WBM layer, waterbound macadam. The layer which is usually used to the layer is laid with the help of an water, with the mix of an water, and the layer is laid and compacted and constructed out. This, yes, this is an example of an WBM, waterbound macadam. After that water is mixed with this layer. Now comes advantages of WBM road. The construction cost of WBM is comparatively low because water is available everywhere. In the construction of WBM road, no skilled laborers are required. They are constructed from locally available materials. And last one is, if it is maintained properly from time to time, it can resist the load of traffic 900 tons per lane per day. Disadvantages: the maintenance cost is high. Initial cost is low, but maintenance cost is high if not maintained properly for prolonged years. Overall lifespan of the road is very less comparatively to the rigid pavements. If the WBM roads are not properly maintained, they can cause inconvenience and danger to traffic. It leads to softening and yielding of subsoil. Now comes WMM, wet mix macadam. It is a sub-base layer or base layer, you can say, as wet mix macadam. What are the things included in the wet mix macadam? The thickness of the single compacted wet mix macadam layer shall not less than 75 mm. When vibrating and other approved types of compacting equipment used, when it is completely compacted, the thickness should not be more than 75 mm and it should be more durable. What is wet mix macadam? In macadam course, it is readily mixed, priorly mixed with the water, and it is comes with the paste, so it's called a wet mix macadam. And this WMM road gets dry sooner and can be opened for traffic within no time compared to WBM roads, which take about 1 month for getting dry to the depth of the single layer. And the depth we can increase up to 200 mm for the sub-base course. This is a wet mix macadam laying above the non-woven geotextile material. Next is surface of WMM road. This is actually wet mix macadam road, which is layered and compacted for the final surface of the bitumen, and it can be used in flexible pavements, etc. These are the references which I have gone through the images and contents. So thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please share and subscribe it. Thank you very much.